Hello everybody, it's your boy Committee K10 here, coming at you with another episode of the Overkill Podcast. We're on episode 103, and I'm here with my co-host, Meta Knight.
Hello everybody, it's your boy.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys hear a little bit of sniffling during this podcast. I am a little bit congested. And I know Meta Knight also is kind of getting over his sickness, so I don't know, he might sniffle too, but I'll try to keep it to a minimum. So I guess we'll just hop right into it. I have this one story that there is a suggested theory that Nintendo will have a direct sometime on February 10th. That is the rumor. It's obviously going to focus a lot on the Mario Galaxy movie that's coming out this year. And as well, they might reveal the next 3D Mario game for the Switch. And I just kind of wanted to talk more about, what game do we think it's actually going to be? Because me and Meta were discussing this a little earlier in the day. We were thinking, I was kind of saying, with all this Mario Galaxy focus, it could be Mario Galaxy 3. Although they generally don't do sequels for Mario 3D games. Galaxy's been the only one they've actually done that with. So I could see them doing that, but I could also see it just being Odyssey 2. Or just being a completely new thing, like Odyssey was. So... yeah, I don't know. Well, what's your take on it?
I mean, man, I could totally see it being another. I could totally see it being another Odyssey game. To be honest, and the only reason I say that is because I think Bonanza's done really well, and in a way that was kind of like a testing ground sequel. And I feel like it sold really well. It's probably the only game on the Switch 2 that's even worth buying. And I guess I can just totally see it in the cards.
Yeah. I think the only thing is Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out, so that team probably isn't going to be... They might work on this game, but I don't think it'll be like their main project that they're working on. Just considering that Bonanza took so long to make. So I don't see them going right into this one right after they release that. But as well, another part of this leak is supposedly within... Call of Duty also had a leak where, I guess in the code of the game, their platform family, they've added a new variable called Nintendo, and within their client platform family, they also have a platform family.nintendo variable there as well, I think, or within that array. It looks like two arrays. So, I guess Nintendo might have a Call of Duty game finally release on their system again. I don't know which one it would be. Supposedly this is through the Call of Duty HQ. It's on the latest version of the whole unified engine. So maybe it's next year's game. Maybe it's BO7. I don't know, but
that's crazy.
That is interesting. I wonder how well this game's gonna run, because Call of Duty infamously doesn't even run well on modern systems. So I
totally doubt this.
Playing it,
I do not believe this. Not even for a millisecond do I fucking believe this.
You think it's fake?
That there's Call of Duty on the Switch? No way.
I could see there being an older game, but not. I don't think a new one.
I mean, I could see them releasing like Black Ops.
Yeah,
On
or like
one.
a Black Ops
Brother, Black Ops
Saga or something.
Black Ops couldn't even
like
run on the Wii like it did.
Yeah, well, I could see them doing like a Black Ops complete saga and it being like Black Ops 1 with all the DLC, Black Ops 2 with all the DLC, and Black Ops 3 with all the DLC. I could see that.
I mean, that'd be cool. I'd pay for that. Like, even if they got rid of the multiplayer.
Yeah, but like, number one, Call of Duty would want you to pay full price for all those games, so it'd probably be a crazy price tag. But, or they would probably just sell them separately. And also, they like to focus on like the newest game anyway, so I feel like they just would never do that. And COD has been rumored to come since the original Switch. That people have been rumoring it to be a thing, and it just never happens. So I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can move on.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Man.
Sounds about right. I think it'd be cool. I would totally be down to replay all those COD games, by the way. I know you and I have, obviously played them all, but I'd be totally down to replay them. I guess it's time to touch on the new Joy-Con colors. This came from the Direct most recently. And to be honest, it was the only major news that was worthwhile. There is a light purple. It's almost like in between a pink and a purple. And then there is a teal. It might be more like a cyan, but it's definitely, I want to say it's a teal, like a light teal Joy-Con, and that is for the left and the right respectively. I guess we figured we'd touch on this real quick because, as we know, the Switch 1 had some really pretty Joy-Cons. They would change the entire plastic, and they were in wild colors, everything from like neon green to like muted, grays to, I don't know. There's a ton of variety. And this is actually exactly what I predicted personally. I don't think we ever discussed it on the pod, but this is what I predicted personally the Switch 2 colors would be, because they were trying to do this real professional look for the Switch 2. Like, everything about the Switch 2 is elevated. It's not very colorful. It's all gray. It has hints of, that like light red and light blue coloring on the Joy-Con sticks and in between the screen and the Joy-Con. So this is exactly what I expected for different color swaps. Is this kind of what you were thinking? What do you think of the colors, all that,
I was thinking, if anything, I'm kind of surprised it's these colors. I believe it's literally just these colors randomly. There's no like new game that's come out.
It's just these colors.
Normally like whenever they do these things, it would be like red. Like the Mario Odyssey Switch had like a very dark red, or like the Zelda one had would be like green, stuff like that. Or like Splatoon was like blue and pink, or no, sorry, green and pink, because that was what Splatoon 2 was. Or like the colors on the box. So to me, it's just a little disappointing on that end of it. I think they look okay. I just think it's kind of an odd color matchup. I was kind of hoping, if anything, they would switch the colors, so that way if you wanted to, you could buy a set and have blue on blue or red with red, like to have like matching Joy-Cons on both sides.
Yeah.
I think if they were to do any sort of color, like, because like the black Joy-Cons seem to be what they're going for this generation. If anything, I think they will have at some point a white version of the Switch 2, where just everything's white and then you have like the colors on the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, because then it still keeps that like clean. It still keeps the clean look. It just makes it look more like modern like modern futuristic aesthetic kind of thing. I don't know what
I
I
would
was
say
saying.
black plastic does age better. It doesn't like degrade and turn into like a yellowish, disgusting
I
color.
also prefer
So I
black
do
plastic.
like the black. Yeah.
As someone who has owned even the purple Game Boy, at some point became a blue Game Boy almost.
Yeah. um,
Well, I like the color swaps. Obviously, the red has been swapped to purple, and the blue has been swapped to teal, I believe. Or no, is it the
yeah.
reverse? I think it's the
Yeah. No, you're
reverse.
right.
Okay.
You're right.
So you could, I guess you could in theory. Am I right though? All right. I guess
Wait,
so.
I don't think so. I don't know. Who cares?
No, I'm a
It's
liar.
different
I'm a dirty
colors.
liar. The red, yeah, I reversed it. The blue is the left blue Joy-Con is now purple, and the right red Joy-Con is now teal. So you could buy them and then have a purple and red and like a blue and teal, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, I don't know. They're
Yeah.
boring. They're not really that exciting. To be honest, this feels like Nintendo kind of trying to release like a more feminine version of the Joy Cons, because like these colors are kind of like lighter and a little more. I don't know what I would describe as girly. So that's my
Yeah.
theory. Is this is kind of their way to be like, if you don't like the blue and red, you can at least have purple and teal. So
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I guess that's probably why they did that.
dude, with
Yeah,
Nintendo,
dude.
who knows anymore?
Yeah, you can tell this week was very slow on the
Yeah, I
on
know
the
when
stuff.
we
To be
got
honest, nothing really happened.
fucking 5 minutes on
So
Joy Cons.
it's the I mean, it's the beginning of the year. It's kind of expected. Gaming news usually dies down after the new year, and kind of it picks up like toward the end of the year, So it's a lot easier to do these, at the end. But I guess we can move on. We kind of been talking a lot about Nintendo hyping them up this episode,
Mm-hmm.
but Nintendo actually did catch some flack for supposedly using some AI in some Mario product for targeting children. And if you look, it looks like they have this like toy lineup of like building blocks and stuff, and also it looks like you can draw on the tablet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but Nintendo does this. And in one of the images, the lady who's it was a lady holding her. It's a lady holding like a Mario doll, and
Yeah.
she has like weird thumb placement basically, and so fans kind of quoted that out and seeing like it as a use of AI, but some have believed that it might just be poor photoshopping. Nintendo has
Oh, look at
been
that thumb.
Nintendo has been very against the use of AI in the past, and they have dispelled rumors that it was lobbying against it. Wait, hold on.
A thumb. So a thumb
Yeah,
cannot bend like at that angle. Uh, but it can be pretty close. So I assume it's just bad photoshopping. I'm gonna give him the benefit on this one. I gotta be real.
yeah,
This appears to be an image from Nintendo San Francisco. Is that even real? Oh yeah, there's a Nintendo New York and Nintendo San Francisco. There is this
yeah.
doll.
Huh. Yeah. So I guess Nintendo is against the use of AI. This is one of the reports at the end of this article also says that they are actively against it. I don't know. And also there's a indie developer who has basically made a seal, an anti-AI seal of approval, similar to what the Nintendo seal of equality used to be. So that's pretty cool. Meta Knight, are you there?
I'm here, bro.
Oh, I thought you lost audio.
I did not.
Okay. Like, I went quiet. I was like, uh-oh.
No, I am getting a call from someone we know, so we're good though.
Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I wanted to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It seems to be companies' MO to use AI, but I have to be honest, these pictures look pretty real to me. And I usually have a pretty good AI eye, if you can say that. And I think you do too. What do you think? You think they're AI or not?
I mean, looking at them, the problem for me is like they're so low, to me at least. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just the compression on that website. They are pretty high quality. They do. Yeah. To me, they look real. Just maybe a little photoshopped. But I mean, I feel like that's kind of pretty normal for most things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can move on.
Yeah, I guess we can. I have this down. Probably our last talk on DK Bonanza. Bonanza. Why is it so much better than Odyssey? So I feel like we can finally bring this up because I've watched a lot of videos on Odyssey. I know you've been replaying Odyssey. I think we've talked about it a couple weeks ago. But also I've gotten far enough through Bonanza now. I've done like 7 floors, which is about halfway through the game. I think it's about halfway because some of the other floors are really short. So I guess I figured it'd be interesting if we kind of broke down and talked about like why they're more interesting. I think the biggest thing is that the bananas replacing the moons is actually a huge change because I feel like the bananas are not as random as the moons. Is that crazy? Is that different? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the thing too is like the power moons. Well, not a lot of them are required, but to me, they feel like lesser objectives, and the bananas, because they give you upgrades, they do feel a little bit more important.
Mm-hmm.
But as well as they're not required, like the bananas aren't required, whereas in Odyssey, the moons are required, at least some of them. And I think one thing too is with Bonanza, most of the time the bananas are like they have their own. I guess each one of them is like unique. Like they're all kind of like out in the open technically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are like buried underground and whatnot. But it feels like each one of them is more unique. Whereas like the moons in Odyssey were like there's like probably I think it's like 42 or something.
Yeah.
Moons that you just get from ground pounding a spot on the ground. And that's cool like once or twice, but once you realize like, oh, there are a lot of moons that require this, let me just ground pound every spot there possibly could be a moon, and it turns out you get a lot of moons just by doing that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did watch that is kind of funny because we didn't script this, but I did watch a video on Mario Odyssey by Joseph Anderson, his 2-hour review of Odyssey. So that's funny.
Yeah, I have indeed seen that video twice now, actually.
Yeah.
It's a good video. I think some of the bigger differences, though, and these are just some things we can go through really quickly, besides just the pure insane amount of moons compared to bananas, is in Odyssey, you often take control of like one thing and you kind of lose all autonomy. So like if you take over the Moai statue or whatever it is, you can essentially only walk at that like waddle speed and see invisible blocks. And then, it does that for every object in the game. So if you take over the bird guy in the Bowser's castle, essentially you can only kind of walk and run a little fast and then stab your beak into the wall. But in Odyssey, or sorry, in Bonanza, you get to transform, whether it's the zebra, the ostrich, essentially the gorilla, the larger gorilla again. You get to transform into these different things and you maintain your same autonomy and like movement that you have as Donkey Kong. So like you don't lose a bunch of abilities. Like in Odyssey, whenever you transform into the tank, for example, you can no longer jump and you can only roll forward really slowly, right? And you can't, you can't obviously throw your hat or do anything like that. So I think there's a big difference in like how fluid it feels and how much more enjoyable it is to like maintain control of the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't had an opportunity or really want to replay Bonanza yet, and I probably won't for a couple of years. And I mean, same thing happened with Odyssey, where I beat it the first time and I was like, that's cool. I probably don't want to beat this again. And I think one thing that I will say is Bonanza was a little bit harder, but only slightly. I mean, they're both pretty easy games, but I feel like just having that little bit of extra difficulty with Bonanza was more fun to me. I don't know how you feel on the difficulty aspect.
Well, so I mean, if we're gonna talk control difficulty, I I definitely feel like um I definitely feel like Odyssey felt more difficult as far as like its kind of jankiness to me. Like I know a lot of people say it's the most smooth Mario of all time, but to me, throwing the hat out, having to jump on it, recatching the hat, throwing it again, like I just could never get like the base movement set down. And in DK in Bonanza, it feels like you can do the surf into like the surf jump or whatever, where you like surf off, grab the rock again, throw it down, get more air, and basically extend your range. To me, that combo feels a lot more natural, but like the overall gameplay is definitely a lot more difficult. Like the moment to moment, like boss fights are a lot more interesting. There's a lot more going on. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like DK is more complex in its like mechanics, and definitely in like its enemy variety. I feel like the enemies are a lot more difficult. I have to agree. But do you think that's due to do you think that's due to them making the enemies more varied, or is it more to do with the fact that DK has so many more options that I guess maybe trying to decide between all those options makes it more difficult?
I don't know. I think my biggest thing was like there was just so many, like DK had so many buttons, whereas like Mario, for the most part, you can beat the game pretty much by jumping and throwing the hat. Maybe you have to like do the motion controls to like have the hat spin every once in a while, or do like something interesting with the hat. Like, but really, you can get through 99% of the game just by jumping and throwing the hat forward, and maybe diving, right, and like rolling a couple times here and there. But in Bonanza, there's so much more. You can punch up, down, left, right, you know. You can also pick up, throw. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot more there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting mechanics. I
ways.
guess we'd have to think more on it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess final decision. I think we've talked about this before. I think Bonanza's a lot better than Odyssey. I have to be honest.
Yeah, that's hard. I think it depends on what kind of fan you are. I think DK is a little. I think it's better for. I think if you like platforming, you'll probably like DK more. But if you're just like a more basic gamer, I think you'll like Mario more. Maybe that's a little brutal, but that's just kind of how I feel on it. I guess we can move on. This will be a quick one. I wanted to talk about this, but I found this very small indie game called War Rag. It's a old school boomer shooter where myths
Boomer shooter
with techno occult in the style of Slavic Gothic. I don't know, bro.
It's interesting, bro.
What that means, but you know, it's your typical. It's like Doom, but it's like the gun is 3D, and I think everything else is like 2D still.
Looks cool, bro.
It does look interesting. There's 42 reviews, and they're all positive, supposedly. Well, most are positive, but I'm kind of surprised on that, because usually whenever you see like one of these games that is what you call it, it's like indie like this that doesn't have a lot of reviews, usually it's bad, but to me it looks pretty good. There's only a demo out right now. It's supposedly coming whenever, so they don't really have a release date on it. Just a demo. But it looks cool. I think me and Meta will probably try it. Maybe we'll talk about it next pod. But yeah,
it looks cool. I like it. I like its style.
I think. Do you think boomer shooters will come back? You think? Because I definitely think, like, me and Meta were also talking about this, but like single player games are coming back. There was also a news story that was saying that Gen Z is going back to the Game Boy and other retro systems. And a lot of people are just going back to, you know, the more simpler times where you didn't have game updates and all that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think
we're getting EverDrives, baby. We're going back.
I definitely think there is. I definitely think a lot of Zoomers will be going back to these older consoles, and I know we have. So yeah, we've gotten EverDrives for the GBA. I'm going back to my DS, or I'm gonna get a DS XL because my cats have broken my DS. A new 3DS XL, the perfect name, and they are going to. It's gonna be interesting to go back and play all these old games, but I can definitely see it because all these new games, if you don't pay up, you won't have as much fun. Everything is so fucking expensive, and whenever you can buy a single EverDrive and essentially play whatever game you ever wanted from a selection of 2,000 plus games or even more. I mean, I think the choice is pretty clear. Yeah, the gameplay might not be as deep, or the story might not be as deep, but it is just as fun, and I think there's value to be had there, so I wouldn't be surprised. Plus, everything old, is now new again, like vinyls and cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully I wasn't breathing too
Yeah.
much in the mic this episode. I don't think so, but I tried. Holy moly. I've been just
Hopefully you haven't been clicky clacking either, bro.
Huh?
You haven't been typing?
No.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess.
We'll move on to our last one. It's a little shorter episode.
Is it? I guess.
Well, I don't know. It's about the same. I don't know.
So, I know we talked about it. Nintendo recently, I don't know if it's because the Switch sold so well, but my guys have been double dipping with these remakes like the All-Star Collection and Galaxy really, really hard. I don't know. I guess we don't really know how well the All-Star Collection actually sold. My assumption is not very. But I guess we want to talk about Galaxy. And I know you and I were considering getting it. It's $40 a game, and the digital or the physical editions seem to get harder and harder to come by the day. I guess, do you think, are we getting the remakes? What do you think? What are we doing?
Bro, I think I'm gonna have to, I really want the remakes, bro. I think I'm gonna get it.
I think I'm gonna have to join you in that.
I did want to mention too. There have been a ton of games that have gotten this treatment. They had the Mario RPG remake. They also had the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a lot of remake games. Obviously, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was re-release of Mario Kart 8. So they've, especially last generation, I think it was a thing of, as well as the Wii U didn't sell very well, so a lot of those games came over. Obviously, like Bayonetta 1 and 2, I believe, were remade for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just been a ton of games.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been so many remakes for the Switch. I almost think it's because it has such a large install base. But maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's definitely that. Also, it's a smart strategy to, especially if it's a single player game, just to release it again, because people will buy it again to play it again on their system. The Galaxy games do look way better on Switch too, though. That's kind of one reason why I'm like, I want to get the games. And I believe they are physically on the cartridge if you buy it. But yeah.
And also, I think the motion controls would be greatly improved on the Switch. I think that's just a fact of the matter. We did not have good controls. It was, I mean, they were fine for the time, but like playing them now, you realize just how like janky it really is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot better. It also looks great. So I think if y'all want it, I think you should get the remakes. They look really good, and I think, yeah. That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's about it for the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your boy Kirby DK10. Peace.
It's been your boy Meta. Bye. Take it easy, y'all.